out the week from who you've been. Can you win this war you're in? Is your point laborious, or will you rise victorious? Oh, take it or break it. Take it or break it. Take it or break it. Earn your throne.
Welcome. Oh, God. Just take it or break. Oh, no.
Good start.
You shouldn't eat RX bars before you start recording, guys. They're a little slippery. Take it or break it. Sports Takes Game Show of your dreams, your nightmares. I'm your host, Corbin Smith. Let's meet today's contestants. Roundball Rock, Joey Devine.
Hi.
Roundball Rock, Sean Keane.
Hello.
Thank
it's
you.
lit, fam.
Oh, it is lit, fam. It's how you guys doing? What food themed week is going on in your place of residence?
You know, we already had the Big Burger Week a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is there? There must be. I'm not actually aware of it right now.
I didn't realize that was a thing at all. So
Yeah, it's Burger Week here in Portland, baby.
I'm trying not to eat carbs. That's what kind of week it is for
I
me.
thought it was the donut place.
Oh, you're right.
Sex
Voodoo
trafficking
Donuts. Yeah.
children week.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
It's take your daughters to work day at Voodoo Donuts.
oh yeah. It's it's a lot of fun. Look, first off, I'll say all QAnon stuff is fake except the Voodoo Donut stuff. It's 100% true. And yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about it, honestly, but it's just common knowledge in Portland. You know what the problem is? We're all okay with it.
Yeah, because you're part of the blue wave of pedophilia. So
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Look, we don't like red state pedophilia, you know, but you know, if you vote for Hillary Clinton, we'll let you slide. You know,
that's why they put like Fruity Pebbles on their donuts, right, to attract the children.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh, those
What do you think
those cereal donuts are fucking bad, dude.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of Voodoo Donuts that are good. I think people, I think some people around the Portland area get a little too in their feelings about it, and also I think that Voodoo Donuts is basically responsible for like as a proof of concept that themed restaurants can work here, and then like 20 other themed restaurants popped up, and they're all fucking awesome. So just lay off a little bit. But
I didn't realize you were going to come down on the side of themed restaurants, and I'm
not
excited.
Like themed not like themed like restaurants where they take things and make them slightly too fancy. Like is Salt and Straw going to exist without Voodoo Donuts? No, and Salt and Straw's good as shit.
You know who likes Salt and Straw?
Who?
Bill Simmons, baby.
I haven't heard. Did he talk about it this week?
No, but he does. He has talked about it before. It's like one of the few restaurants that it seems like he actually goes to.
He doesn't.
Not that
I don't want to talk too much about Bill Simmons because I would like to work for The Ringer someday.
Yeah.
In a freelance capacity. I mean,
it's a great website. He's a great man.
Yeah, he's a god. I hope. But he doesn't see. He seems pretty anhedonic sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh, that like soup is his favorite food is a good example of that.
Is that real? Is that like real?
Oh yeah, that's for
so.
sure real.
Oh wow! But like, yeah, it's just like he seems like a guy.
In fact, it's not just his favorite food; it's the perfect food. He says.
Yeah.
Why is soup the perfect food?
I don't know.
It was in the intro to Any Given Wednesday, though.
It wasn't the intro; it was the commercial.
Oh, the promo. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, soup is a perfect food. That is so.
Yeah. That's like one of his hot takes in the commercial for Any Given Wednesday.
But it's just like he just. Like, I want to make it clear, like his podcast, he's done some really excellent writing. I want to make it clear that I don't have like an inherent problem with Bill Simmons. that I'm trying to air out here.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems a little anhedonic. It just seems like maybe he takes pleasure from non-pleasure things pretty frequently.
Well, he's pretty Catholic, and I think that's like natural.
Yeah.
I think that like salt and straw affection. I feel like Bill Simmons is eating sugar once a week.
The salt and straw affection is that I'm pretty sure it's in the neighborhood where he lives and he has children.
Yeah. Although they were advertising.
Oh yeah, because they have
possibly
salt and
the
straw in
most
Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, there's like 3 of them.
Yeah, there's at least one in San Francisco too.
I think there's one in Seattle too, if I recall. But
they were advertising
that
one of the most repellent ice cream based things I've ever seen last year, which was the Thanksgiving dinner menu.
Oh yeah,
where they had like a stuffing flavored ice cream.
Yeah, there were some real stretches on that one.
But you know what? Shoot your shot, weird ice cream place.
Yeah, I fucking love. You know what Salt and Straw made like 2 years ago that I ate a shit ton of, and it like makes me mad that it doesn't exist anymore. They made a
sweet corn.
No, not sweet corn.
Sweet corn ice cream.
Well,
I was just trying to guess.
Thank you for. Okay. No, Joey, it wasn't sweet corn. Okay, it was a sherbet made out of flowers. It was flowers sherbet. It was like sherbet that tasted like flowers.
Oh, you've talked about this on TIOBI.
I'm stunned that I've talked about it before. But yeah,
is it rose flavored?
It wasn't roses. It was other flowers. I can't remember what off the top of my head. And it was
So Corbin, let me get this straight. There was a time in your life where you were eating flowers frozen into ice cream while wearing a heavy blanket.
No, it was pre-heavy blanket
Bad.
days. I'm afraid. I hate to disappoint you, but it was. I think that was the time in my life when I would get really high and then eat at Bollywood Theater and then drift over to Salt and Straw. I think that was that brief period of my life. I wouldn't call it a productive time.
That sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, it was great, but also. It was a real this is not sustainable time of my life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so that came to a screeching halt when I had an anxiety disorder. So
yeah, marijuana is probably not great for that.
No, it's not. It's not. And like I get that it works for some people for some things. I want to make this clear.
Yeah.
It's cool if it's a part of your life. I don't, but for anxiety, maybe it just doesn't really work that good, except in the short term.
My friend was my giant pot smoking friend was very upset at recreational marijuana being legal in California because she was just like, everyone understood the scam. You pretended your back hurt. You got a prescription. Like it was fine, and now all these amateurs are involved. We have to pretend like, I don't know. Her whole thing was like, yeah, we've all agreed to pretend this is medicine.
Okay.
So she's like an alcoholic who doesn't go to a bar on like Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, exactly. It's amateur night. I had a friend who, my coworker who was very into drag, hated Halloween for that same reason.
I mean, I get it, but also, come on.
Yeah.
But like she understand on a certain level that there's like a reason for that goes beyond the amateur hour stuff, right? Like she understands that there's like, that legalizing marijuana has as much to do with not disproportionately prosecuting people of color as it does with being able to buy weed, right?
Yeah. She does know that. Yeah.
Okay.
She's a person of color.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Wow.
I fucking outed
Wasn't that good?
Wow.
What's great is you have no idea if that's true or not.
I guess I don't. But I feel like I've really shown my woke ass here today. My apologies.
Now you're correct though. That is what it's actually about.
Yeah, because that's what it's actually about. Like weed has always been
just hassle people.
Yeah, like weed has been illegal for white people forever.
Right.
Somebody else made that joke.
I would argue possibly my whole life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like when I went to college at the Evergreen State College, and everybody smoked weed there literally all the time. Nobody seemed to give a shit about it. Anyway, thank you for joining us. It's time to get to the Gristle rules. Game takes on topics 1 or 2, 3, 5. You've been here before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sean.
All right. Hey, this week I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, so we got some, but we got 8 questions and some trivia for y'all. It's gonna be a big old blast. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right. Question 1: sports. They're a delight. What do you like most about sports, Joey?
What?
What do you like most about sports, Joey?
What do I like most about sports? I mean, basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble
Jesus
up and down
Christ.
the court. It's easily the drama and the personalities, the crack of the bat, peanuts and crackers. I don't know. 2 points. 2-point take.
That's a 0-point take.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was terrible. I almost gave you negative points, but I didn't. Sean.
I think I don't know if this would have been my answer years ago, but I like now that it's results that basically happen without anyone really having to discuss something or argue something or prove a point. It just kind of happens one way or another. And I like that the outcomes are often very disappointing and frustrating at the same time, but it also, doesn't matter if anybody like retweets something or is based on, as much of our society is, a massive bribe from a billionaire to determine the result.
Mm-hmm. At least that's what you think. You know what, Sean? Good take. 3 points. Good job, Sean.
Thanks, Corbin.
Joey.
It was such a dumb question. I didn't know how to answer.
What do you like most about sports? Like, how dumb is that really?
Really dumb. Like, I like most things about sports.
You like?
I'm trying, Jennifer.
God damn it. Okay. Oh. I cannot fucking... Okay, look. Obviously, this is going to be a messy episode. I think that everybody's figured that out by now. So let's just take a second to walk down this cul-de-sac, all right? Why the fuck do rich people look at their Twitter mentions?
It's insane. I mean, I think when it was revealed that Elon Musk just, takes a lot of acid and goes on Twitter this week, it's like, oh, that now makes sense. I think he does a lot of drugs.
Who, Elon Musk?
Well, because there was a big thing today about apparently some interview he gave the New York Times, I think, about being really sad. And I tried to find it, and there were multiple instances of Elon Musk crying during an interview with Rolling Stone and weird stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, he has a massive drug problem. That's what's happening there.
I heard this story secondhand this week, but a friend of mine is friends apparently with a bunch of the writers from The Onion that Elon Musk stole to make his fake Onion.
Yeah.
And
what's his fake Onion?
It hasn't happened
yet.
yet.
Elon Musk hired a bunch of Onion writers for no particular reason.
And they just hang out at his, there's a writer's room on whatever Musk compound is. And my friend told me that her friend says that basically it's pretty cool. They just hang out all day. And then Elon Musk, like, once a week will come in, like, super high out of his mind on acid and just, like, be autistic at them for 7 minutes and then leave.
I mean, like, what a weird life for this guy, just to, like... I still understand why Twitter is anything he would care about, even with the acid, but, like, once you think about that, you're like, oh, he's like, an apartheid billionaire who takes a lot of steroids and designer drugs. And it's like, why else would he be dating Grimes?
Look.
Like, Grimes like, is a meth head. I'm pretty sure. She's known for staying up for, like, 90 hours a time by herself in a recording studio and not eating. Like, that...
Yeah, like, look.
Drug.
Look,
all of this is drugs.
Yeah. They're like, okay, like, if you found PayPal, there's two ways for you to go. It's out of control drug mania or conservative politics.
Well, or the thirst for young people's blood.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I mean, it's very weird because
honestly, I think that might be what unites them, but
I would say it feels like people from San Francisco don't understand this and really should. Is like, so just because I used to work at a nonprofit that was like a block away from Twitter headquarters, and there's this sense that just because something was successful that a genius was involved in it.
Yeah, that dude is not
like
a genius.
A plan at all. Like, Twitter in particular was like an inter-office messaging system for like a totally different company that they just like fell backwards into. Like, you know, I would see the employees of Twitter when they had like 15 employees just walking around in their dorky ass bird t-shirts, like incapable of ordering a burrito like coherently. Like, it's just like in founding PayPal's the same thing. It's just like, was it this like genius idea? It's like, no, it
was the most inevitable shit imaginable. Like,
and it's
like, oh, you're not gonna fucking believe this, but now that the internet exists, people are gonna want to spend money on it.
Yeah,
and like, people are just better at the grift aspect of it, and like, it's more institutionalized. But like,
you know what? Can I give it in fairness on the PayPal end at the very least?
Okay.
There probably was a lot of engineering prowess involved in building that and making it relatively secure.
And actually,
yeah, but neither of those two dorks did any of that.
Yeah, it's like engineers working 12-hour shifts in their network operations center. But like, that's also just guys who were already running the back end of eBay. You know, like, but the idea behind it is kind of like, I don't know. Also, if you know people in the tech industry, you have all these like libertarian dudes talking about how it's a meritocracy, and like, everyone I know who has jobs like that got one because their friend worked there.
Yeah,
like bunch of dudes with like no college degrees. You know, I mean, again, they're often very good at their jobs, but the idea that, like, you know, when they talk about how Silicon Valley companies don't hire black people, it's like, yeah, because they hire their friends from college.
They hire their friends from
or
college.
their roommates' friends, or people they meet at cocaine parties at Elon Musk's house.
Okay.
I don't know. I think the problem is that, like, we chose to deify, like, this fucking asshole whose entire thing was to do acid and then be like, I hate buttons. No more buttons.
A car should be one piece of metal, so in case something goes wrong, then you... Oh, no! Okay, the main thing that this car should do is look very sleek and run on batteries, and if it catches on fire, whatever, I'm on acid, it's gonna look cool.
Well, I was talking about Steve Jobs, Sean.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Not Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk also hates, like, sleeves and buttons. I mean... Yeah, it's a lot of huckster.
Like, Steve Jobs was, like, straight up, like, a con man.
He hated arrow keys.
Like, he was like a guy who was like, I care about design, and then he'd be like, and then he would try and cure his cancer by drinking juice.
Oh, and also stealing people's livers, like bribing people to get ahead on a transplant list, and then dying anyway.
Wow. All right, this gotta.
Deserves to be dead. That's
the only reason I mention the engineering part of it is that Twitter, that was 100% fucking on accident.
Yeah,
it still doesn't work now.
It's stupid. Like, the reason why it's fun is because of the user base.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and all the stuff that people do is like hacked together by the users, and then stuff like anytime there's like top-down action, when it's like, you know how Twitter was this like very easy to understand chronological list? No more.
Yeah, nobody
bunch
wants
of
that.
Recommendations. Yeah. Like, if you want to see people that you've blocked still showing up in your timeline, Jack's got you.
Yeah, the Jack dude is the most like clearly incompetent dude of all the dudes, because he made a fucking Facebook status website that accidentally became the crowbar with which fascism was propped into America. And you
look at all that stuff, and like Facebook also just looks like trash and doesn't work. Like, these giant companies are like, that's how you can tell it's a grift.
Look, there's one true tech genius in our lives, and that man is Tom from MySpace.
Oh yeah,
because he bailed.
Right, he purposefully grifted MySpace. He was like, he ripped off Friendster, and then he was like, made MySpace bigger, and then he was like, later, bro.
Yeah, and then he sold it to a real company.
Eventually, it got sold to Justin Timberlake.
He was the only one who didn't didn't smoke his own supply.
Yeah, because all these other guys are like, well, I gotta stay on as the CEO. We got some innovations. How's this company gonna work if I'm not running it?
Yeah,
it is weird that the culture's like, yeah, this nerd that came up with this one idea by accident when he was dicking around, that guy should be leading a board of adults. He should be talking in public.
Yeah, do you think he's still at board meetings like, if you had invented Facebook, you would have invented Facebook?
Yeah.
And all these adults are like, who gives a shit, man? I have always dreamed of writing the MySpace version of the social network.
The act three is just the vacation they all take.
What actor could even play Tom from MySpace?
Ooh, like Justin Long.
Well, he's a PC, Joey. Oh no, he's a Mac. Sorry.
You need someone who's emo. That's the only reason I said Justin.
Oh my
Long.
God! I'm looking at a picture of him on BuzzFeed.com. AM2DM, check it out. I've been a guest before.
Are they the producers of the Great Morning Show?
I
watch
Great Morning
every
Show,
week
AM2DM.
or day.
Yeah. Which Corbin Smith has been on before. And I'm looking at a picture of him, and he's an old person now, and he's wearing a sweater and a hat, and like a trucker style hat with frayed edges, and the panel has pictures of guns on it.
Yeah, he's like Dane Cook, dude.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe Dane Cook should play Tom from MySpace.
Oh my God.
Oh, whoa. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page, and I believe I had heard his band Swank before. Just because I think they were like on a local radio station.
He's 47.
Anyway. Yeah, Tom from MySpace rules, dude.
He hacked Chase Manhattan when he was 14.
Oh, he did?
He's kind of awesome.
Why'd he do that?
Because he was 14.
All right, fair enough. Question 2.
Oh, forgot we were doing this.
Sports. They're wonderful. What sport do you like watching most and why? Sean.
I like watching basketball the best. Predictable time frame. Although I do find myself like not focusing as much in the first half of non-playoff games because I think maybe the glut of basketball is doing that to me.
Wow,
But actually,
extremely
it's
old
my
man
own
take.
Well, no, it's like a
They only play
it's
hard
a
in the second
modern
half.
era
Wow.
take.
Unbelievable.
It's because like I'm much more easily distracted by like a phone or other devices and stuff. But I think like
Pornography.
of
It's
the
fine. Pornography deliverers. It's fine. You can say
pornography
it.
deliver. I'm just jacking it all the time until the second half. Yeah, like the appearance of Red Panda tells me to zip up my pants. It's time to focus on the basketball. But of like the non-major sports, I love Olympic handball because it's super weird. It's basically played on a less bouncy slam ball court, and I have no idea what the rules are, and I don't want to learn them. And that's my favorite Olympic event because it's just all these super athletes just bouncing around and throwing a ball, and I don't know what's happening, but it's very exciting.
Pretty good take, Sean. 3 points. JD.
My favorite sport to watch is MasterChef Junior because it's the only sport where you can watch Gordon Ramsay yell at 7-year-olds. It's like it's like if a sport was mic'd up entirely but also made of children, and then the kids will cry. They'll like start crying because they can't make whatever pie they want or whatever, and then another kid will come and like help them and give them a hug. And it's like totally heartwarming.
Yeah.
But of the 4 major sports, it's basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if you work in every sport, it's the one where kids help each other and cry and hug.
Yeah, and Gordon Ramsay talks about how this looks like it's a dog's dinner to
Gordon.
like a 7-year-old.
Gordon.
Yeah, he's taken something a child's cooked and thrown it into the ocean before on that show.
Yeah,
Wait, really?
yeah.
Oh my god.
They were catering a
He's
wedding.
near the ocean. Yeah.
Wait, they were catering a wedding?
Yeah.
I mean, the show's very weird. Also, like everybody on the show is like maybe doing like a little bit of just public rehab to their image because they've been associated with like scandalous restaurants and their own actual personalities. So like there's Mario Batali's business partner was on the last season and like doing every degrading costume or stunt just to be like, hey, don't look at that guy.
Oh, dude.
And he is very good on the show, but you when you know the backstory, it's like, oh, weird, he returned to the show.
Yeah, he left the show 2 years ago, and it's like, oh, wait, he's back? I wonder why.
Why is he in the dunk tank every episode?
Yeah.
Because Gordon Ramsay's like, you get your eyes into that.
Also,
the dog's dinner.
the other judge is Christina Tosi, who's the pastry chef for Momofuku, and she clearly hates children, but is trying so hard to hide it. But like behind her face, you can just see her be like, "Please don't touch me with your dirty hands, you 10-year-old."
Yeah, by the end of the season, like she basically just has a tick that never goes away because it's so many children.
Why did she do the show then?
Money.
Yeah.
It's a network television show.
Yeah, but she's
And
the
I wonder
fucking
if the
pastry chef at Momofuku. Like, why? Like she just seems eminently replaceable. Who cares? Like, you're not even the head chef there.
Well, she has her own, like...
Yeah, Momofuku Milk Bar is hers.
Oh, all right, cool. I got it now.
I'm sure she is, like, selling... Well, she must have been on some other show before that, but, yeah. She's not great. They should have someone else.
3 points, Joey. Always good to hear about MasterChef children.
Junior, son.
My apologies. Question 3. Sports. They do so much for our lives. What sport do you like playing most and why? JD.
My favorite sport to play is esports because I smoke cigarettes and can no longer run for long periods of time. So I like to play I'll play an NBA 2K.
Yeah.
Or I'll occasionally play like a Star Wars Battlefront.
Sure, yeah.
Shovel
Knight.
I was playing Injustice 2 earlier this
week.
Are
those games good? Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to Injustice 2 in a second. Okay, I gave you 5 points because of the raw and unvarnished nature of this take.
Oh, thank you.
Sean, what's your favorite sport to play?
I feel like I've always been limited in basketball by being pretty short,
yeah.
but also slow. So that's a bad combination when you have to play power forward. The sport that probably I would say I never play anymore, but like gave me the most joy when I would play it was Ultimate Frisbee. It's such a hippie take, but it was like it was so much fun. You're with your friends. You're just like flinging a frisbee, tossing it around. I never joined any kind of league because I think I know how embarrassing this is, but I don't think I have felt as much like pure joy. I don't count swimming because it's like too individual, but yeah. But most recently, the game I play the most is called You Chase Me. And that is when this 2-year-old that I babysit makes me run comically slowly because she's very, very slow, but wants to be chased.
Love the Ultimate Frisbee shout out. I myself have been known to huck the bee in my time.
I even had I still have like frisbee golf frisbees as I'm like.
All right, frisbee golf. I'm not willing to get behind.
I'm just saying the whole disc genre.
Disc culture.
I just love throwing that bee.
Just like any sport where you can replace a ball with a disc, you're down.
Yeah, I would play frisbee basketball for sure.
What about a frisbee baseball? Can it happen?
I think you maybe lose the pitching aspect of it.
That's true.
I think that's fine. Like most baseball you play with your friends doesn't really have any pitching anyway. That's kind of weird about baseball, that it's like so overwhelmingly the thing that determines what happens in a professional game, and on like any kind of casual level, it's like, just have your teammate do it. Just throw it up and hit it yourself.
5 points, Sean. I'm feeling generous in this round. Okay, Injustice 2.
Yeah.
Is it actually a good game?
That's a difficult question.
Okay.
Because I kind of hate fighting games. But I love like comic book bullshit. So as a game, it was very easy. I beat it last night. It was very easy to win, even though I'm bad at fighting games, by just like button mashing. But the story's pretty fun.
Okay, because here's my relationship to Injustice. So I like to get on YouTube, and maybe occasionally I like to watch a clip from a superhero movie.
Sure.
I'm only human. I want to see Hulk beat up Loki, or I don't watch the DC movies all the way through, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll watch a scene from that.
Sure. And you should watch the director's cut of Batman v Superman. It is bonkers.
the Snyder cut?
I started watching the Snyder cut of Watchmen, and I was like...
Oh, the 3-hour one? I cannot wait.
3.5 hours.
Yeah. The ultimate cut.
You know, that cartoon they edited in, not that good. Weirdly.
You know what owns in Watchmen, though? The credits. The credits rule.
Why?
What? Because it's like...
I haven't seen Watchmen.
It's like what that movie should be. Like the credit sequence, it's the alternate history where it's like superheroes through American history's time, they've existed the whole time.
The opening credits. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like Dr. Manhattan is on the moon when Neil Armstrong walks there, and like the comedian's the one who assassinates Kennedy. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Okay.
Rest of the movie not so good.
Or you know what? If there's a clip from The Flash, I've been known to enjoy a clip from The Flash.
You should watch The Flash, Corbin. It's a real easy watch.
I understand
that. Fast forward every time someone's having an emotional moment.
I watch it. It's just a little too benign for me.
I like to put it on and then do other things.
Yeah, that's not something Corbin does. Corbin listens to music or a podcast when he's doing other things. He doesn't. He just doesn't have stuff on. It's just has like the Star Trek like everyone's kind of in. It has the Star Trek thing where we clearly put this together pretty quick, but it doesn't have the Star Trek thing where it feels like it's about something.
Sure.
Right.
I think the guy who plays the Flash is actually pretty good, though.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say the guy who plays Captain Cold fucking rules. He's so good.
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome.
Incredible. And they've the best thing about it is I also like to have it on when I'm like writing or doing something else. They let him have some alternate dimension version of his character who's openly gay. Yeah. And it's so great. Like they just ditched the regular universe version and are like, we like having this guy just showing up for a whole episode and just making catty comments the entire time, but also having like a really positive, loving relationship with his partner. Oh, the other thing I want to mention about The Flash, sorry.
Please go ahead.
But they, I think it's because of, it's run by Greg Berlanti, and like notably very pro LGBT themes in his shows. And so with the first season, they decide that the police captain's gay, and they're all like, all the characters are like incredibly supportive of it. Like every time it comes up, like, oh, that's this captain's fiance. Like, oh, yeah, we got to protect the captain's fiance. And there's one point where they get to like the climactic moments of season 1, and all of this like terrible universe destroying stuff is happening, and periodically the characters are like, oh no, we're gonna miss the captain's wedding, and then someone's like, that guy's a great fit for him, and it's very sweet, but also like this isn't like we've been watching the season, and you guys, this is a pretty positive depiction. Gay relationship. Yeah,
there's
like, where's Captain Schmidt? He's on his honeymoon.
Meanwhile, there's like an evil Flash is constantly taking the Flash back to consistently. The Flash has to watch his mother get murdered like 3 times a season.
Not stop it every time.
Okay.
And then sometimes he watches himself as a child witnessing his mom's murder.
Okay, look, I respect how bonkers it is, but we have to talk about Injustice.
But
I just see clips from it all the time. And it's like, Superman, he's breaking things, and like Harley Quinn is like, hey, I'm gonna beat you with the bat, and all that. And and so it's just real goofy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about it. Like each character's super move is so like ridiculous and pretty like hilarious how over the top it is. Like the Flash's super move is he grabs the guy he's fighting, runs him back through time, throws him at a dinosaur, like in a dinosaur's face, and then runs him back to the future where he throws him at himself.
Oh,
so, like,
shit.
the two bodies collide.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget what Harley Quinn's is. Oh, shit, her pet hyenas, like, eat you while she hits you with, like a mallet in the face.
Question
Who
4.
did you win playing as, Joey?
It's the story mode you don't pick.
Oh.
Although it did make me realize something that I really think the problem, like, the core problem with America lies in the fact that we've decided that, like, Batman is a good guy over Superman. So all of these things are always like, Superman's a fascist.
Yeah. Injustice is basically just like Superman is a fascist, right?
Yeah, Superman, basically what happened is the Joker murdered Lois Lane and then set a nuclear bomb off in Metropolis.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe, hey guys, maybe the
Superman
Joker's
is
too
like-
evil. Just throwing it out there. Maybe,
So Superman is like, you could have killed the Joker millions of times and stopped this Batman. I'm gonna murder everybody. And, like, that's like the core creation of those characters. If someone is gonna do that, it should be flipped. But people are so into Batman as a culture that it has to be Superman's the bad guy. But, like, Superman is really the one that's actually, like, the beacon of light.
yeah, fucking
like,
benevolence itself.
Yeah,
Kind of a-
like, he's a
kind of a
utopian.
Kind of a metaphor in our own time for Elon Musk and Bernie Sanders, I would say.
Sorry, who's who?
Elon Musk is definitely, like, shitty Batman.
Oh, okay. And Bernie Sanders is
I made the
handsome
Musk
handsome
sub.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like that keeps happening in these stories where it's like, yeah, Batman's the hero, but, like, Batman is like a capitalist fascist. And Superman is like Superman originally, a lot of who he fought was like corrupt politicians. If you read really, really old Superman comics.
Yeah.
So anyway, fuck Batman. Superman's cool. As a thing.
Question 4.
Wait, how many points did I get?
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't a take question, though. Right?
Yeah, but oh no, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You already
we both
got
got
5
5 points.
Yeah, you both got 5. Please, calm down. If you ever question my scorekeeping again, I will... I don't know. Question
That's
4.
a Silverman only. Yeah.
Sports. They're woven into the fabric of life. When you are watching sports, what kind of liquid or food do you like? Keane. Oh, no, Devine.
I like I don't drink anymore, so I like a big glass of like Coca-Cola and nothing better than some pepperoni pizza. Really, just like a child's meal because it really,
Yeah.
it really sports are one of the only times I can feel innocent like I did when I was a child, instead of thinking about whether Batman's a fascist.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I never sat down watching sports and I was like, I wonder if Dominique Wilkins is a
In
fascist.
fairness, I do often think that now. Like I see Gordon Hayward and I go, I wonder if Gordon Hayward's a fascist.
He's always, Daddy's always happy, so
Yeah.
I don't generally think fascists are happy, as a rule.
Yeah, they tend to be a little fatalistic.
Yeah.
3 points. I'm feeling generous today. Keane.
The only liquid I need is the ice water in my big fat bong, baby. Blowing clouds and watching the Cavaliers blow titles.
Chuck 'em. 5 points.
Fair.
Man, actually, back when I watched weed, one of the problems with me smoking weed all the time was that it made sports incredibly boring for me, and I just wanted to watch Star Trek. Pizza. Hey, do you guys have fancy pizza in Los Angeles?
The pizza in LA is generally not good. We've talked about this earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We were talking about. Oh no, we were not. We were offline talking to our podcast guest yesterday. Nothing stands out for me.
Okay.
Like I like a lot of the like chain-ish San Francisco pizza places better than almost anywhere in LA.
Okay. I was just curious.
I just don't know where there probably is like really fancy pizza that's good, but I don't have anything that stands up or anything I particularly enjoy.
LA's a real hamburger taco town. You can get a lot of
Germans, Mexicans.
There's a big like spectrum of like really fancy burgers to really cheap burgers that are good, and you can get a taco for $1.50 anywhere. That is like the greatest taco you've ever eaten in your entire life.
Yeah, if you like Thai food or Vietnamese food at all, you also can like.
There's some really good. There's some really good Thai
good
food in Seattle too. Yeah, and here. Actually.
It's also really cheap. That's the like amazing thing. If you go to Thai town, like the biggest bowl of pho you've ever seen. How much is it? $3.75.
Oh, also the best Korean food I've ever had here.
Yeah.
All right, just curious.
So all that, but yeah, pizza. I don't know where to go. If you have pizza recommendations, hit us up in our Slack chat.
What? We don't have a Slack
Yeah,
chat.
do you have a Slack chat?
That's Fast Break Breakfast.
That's Fast Break
Did you
Breakfast
think you
that
were
has
Keith
that.
for a second?
Tell Fast Break Breakfast tell them in their chat.
Hey, shout out to everybody listening to this who's in the Fast Break Breakfast chat. I want you to go on the chat and tell everybody to listen to Take It or Break It.
And also Roundball Rock.
And also, but I didn't want to say that. That's something Joey had to say. Just because it's not my podcast, Roundball Rock.
Sure.
I mean, I'm on, so every once in a while, okay.
You're like, if Roundball Rock is the Flash, you're like an Arrow character.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, a little annoyed that I had to be that couldn't be the other way around, and I couldn't be Captain Cold. But okay, fine, whatever. Question 5: sports. Everyone loves them, baby. When you're watching sports and something bad happens to the team that you like, what do you do, Keane?
I mean, to quote the great poet Moby, that's when I reach for my revolver and just firing off weapons directly into the ceiling, Yosemite Sam style, while yelling why, and then I'll make a mildly critical tweet about my own team involving like a cultural reference.
Sean, did you say that's when I reach for my revolver is a Moby reference?
Well, I mean, I thought that was the stupidest way possible to frame that. Yes,
fair.
Okay,
because I generally think of it as a Mission of Burma song.
No way, Moby.
I gotta say, I was a little kid. That joke is just obscure enough that I also wasn't sure.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, Moby is a poet. When he
is there a Moby cover of that song?
Yeah, it's a bigger hit than the Mission of Burma one, sadly.
I had no idea.
I also had no idea.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Huh.
You guys are too cool, I guess.
I'm listening to it now. This just sounds like the song.
It's like not that.
There's one and only aim. It's only 4 minutes long. Come on, Moby. Why?
It's a good song. The Mission of Burma song's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He has different lyrics.
He does? Ugh. Moby.
Dude, so it could be played on MTV.
All right.
Oh, he doesn't even say revolver in it. Oh my god.
What does he say?
The official title of that song for the alternate vocal video is "That's When I Realize It's Over."
Yeah.
Moby, my dude.
Yeah, that was too obscure.
All right. Yeah, well, you know what, 3 points though. I don't know. What do I give a shit? Devine.
I have been famous within my friend group for it is difficult for people to tell whether I'm happy or sad when I'm watching a sport. Like, people were very surprised at my reaction when the Warriors finally won their first championship, and that it was essentially nothing. I don't really cheer or scream. I bottle all emotions up inside because I went to Catholic schools for 12 years.
Hey, Catholic schools.
Hey. Hickory dickory dock. I will say I at one point became so emotionally distressed by the Oakland A's that I gave up on them forever because they broke my heart. And I've slowly been inching back this year. Make some room on the bandwagon, A's fans. Joey's back.
I just got a call from A's fans.
Oh, did they say no?
Yeah, they said please root for the Angels.
I have a video of Joey in the stands. Are the A's? I think the A's are clinching a division title.
No, it was a playoff game.
They won a playoff game, and
we were at an Oakland A's playoff game.
We're in the stands, and
I was looking at Warriors preseason scores.
Yes,
Sean was so mad at me.
We're in the stands at a playoff game, and Joey's and again, this is not like 2015 Warriors. This is like.
I think it was 2012.
Jesus Christ.
So we're hearing Joey's like, I think Carl Landry is going to work out. I'm like, you know what else is going to work out? The A's striking out Miguel Cabrera right
They
here.
won in a walk-off.
It was insane. It reminded me of a time that during a Warriors playoff game, this must have been like 2013 or 2014, my dad kept at commercial breaks flipping it over to a San Jose Sharks playoff game. My dad doesn't really follow hockey. And then even more frustratingly, with a Sopranos rerun. Like in commercials, he'd be like, let's flip over to Tony. And like, all three of my sisters were there too, and we're just like, can we just murder him now? Like, what is... And we'd like come back, and Steph Curry would be celebrating. We'd be like, "Oh, we missed him." My dad was like, "Oh, sorry, I just, Holy Walnuts is at the retirement home right now."
I think my favorite part of that is dropping into a Sopranos episode. It's
it's like at least the other one was like another playoff game.
Yeah.
I know you don't know about hockey, but I get it. But getting involved in,
like half involved, like
drama that I think he had on DVD, even just like.
I've never watched The Sopranos.
Oh, you'd love it, Corbin.
I know, that's what everybody says.
It's so funny.
Okay, noted. Next. What?
Nothing.
Oh,
I'm just a big Sopranos head. Best show of all time.
Did you guys finish Succession?
Yes.
I haven't even started it yet.
Oh, jeez. Joey.
I've been saving it.
Joey. I'm so mad at you right now because there's some shit I want to talk about in Succession. And you haven't seen it. So, question 5. Question 6. So, my bad. Sports.
Wait, did you give out points?
Yeah, I gave you 3, I think.
Cool.
Maybe I didn't. Extra point for Joey, just in case.
Damn it.
Oh, did I not give Joey points?
You didn't.
No, it's a competition,
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm getting invested. TIOBI is my favorite sport.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I like watching takes go up and down the court.
Question 5. Or 6. Sports. Hachimachi. If If you could be amazing in any sports, which one would you pick? Devine.
I have often said that I would give up 10 years of my life to dunk on a person one time. In like a monkey's paw situation. So it's easily basketball.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be no better feeling in the world than literally just ram jamming all over on some dork's face.
Yeah. That's real power, you know?
Yeah.
Joey, that's a 5-point take.
Thank you.
I mean, almost entirely because it's impenetrably true. You know what I mean? Like, what else am I supposed to give that? Like, what do you give the Bible? What do you give Shakespeare? Like, Sean.
I don't think I have the right temperament to be like a dunking dominant. I'm not going to be a daddy on the basketball court. And if you can't be, I'm going to pick like the thing that I feel like gives you the greatest standard of living, and that is fireballing left-handed baseball reliever.
Yeah.
Because like dominance, money, but also just like a chill ass life. Sitting in the bullpen, like your whole life is just like snacks and pranks, and then coming in and generally defending like not that difficult a lead. You know, like getting saves is that's just like the empty calories of the sports statistical world.
But everybody worships you.
Yeah, you can pitch forever.
You pitch in by far the part of the baseball game people care about the most.
Yeah. And people know you can have like your own. Your one baseball player gets every time he enters the game a full version of the song of their choosing every time. That's such a weird
Sean
thing.
would of course pick That's When I Reach for My Revolver by
That's
Moby.
Right.
Yeah.
I would actually pick the Catherine Wheel cover, but yeah, imagine like I just think like the selection of closer music, especially knowing like that I ruled at it, like you just have like the best kind of like taunting songs or make people listen to weird like what's Sean's closer music? It's like, well, actually, it's a Destroyer B-side. It was not actually released in this country. It's a record store day special. And
it's from that album where he sings in Spanish.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like it's my like college radio station playlist. Only I'm entering, playing it for 50,000 drunk people and striking people out. I'd be super demonstrative on the mound. Yeah, that would fit my personality better. Even though I do agree that like dunking on a person is touching the face of God, like caressing it.
Sean, that was a really fucking good take, but Joey's take was perfect, and so it's like hard. It's like hard to give you 5, but I also like I think under normal conditions it would have been a 5, but I had to give you 4. I hope you understand.
That's fair. No, I understand.
Someday we are going to do a podcast where we go through the All-Star teams and decide and declare if the players are daddy or not. I want. I
mean, we hate the word daddy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wimp. Why don't you like the word daddy? What's wrong with daddy?
We talked about this on last week's episode of
Roundball
Rock. Yeah.
I listened.
Daddy.
Expensive daddy.
We decided that.
Wait. You don't like daddy, but do you like daddy?
No. In fact, I prefer daddy
I like
to daddy. Daddy.
Although we realized we're both pro Poppy.
Yeah, that was this week. We're pro Poppy, and then we're also
You guys really did go to Catholic school. Jesus.
Daddy Warbucks is an acceptable use of the word daddy, because Daddy Warbucks is a dope name.
It just feels like the rampant acceleration of the porn qualities of daddy in the last 5 years I find uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever. I'm reclaiming daddy for normal creeps. We're taking it back, baby.
You like it in the Pedro Martinez style, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Or like Daddy's here to do a podcast. I don't know. Question 7: Sports. Love them or leave them. What athlete doesn't like sports enough to play sports for money? Get them out of here, Keane.
Ooh, what? Oh, who doesn't like sports enough to play them for money? God, who hates them the most? I mean, it's a basketball player for sure.
100%.
You get shunted there another way, and like most guys that are really good baseball players, like could have played college football. You know what I mean? Like that's usually the choice. So like, who's the most unhappy big man in the NBA right now? God, I think he likes it. Sorry, I'm just going through the team. Sorry, this isn't that concise.
Yeah, that's fine.
A take.
I know. This one's a bit of a hard question. If I would have thought, I probably would have prepped you with it. But I
have my answer if Sean wants to.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Joey. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I disagree that it's actually a basketball player, although I think the basketball player that hates basketball the most is Blake Griffin now. But clearly the answer to this question is Jay Cutler, the quarterback. He's a man who hates sports so much that it became a meme that he was smoking on the sidelines. He's never smiled in his entire life. Everyone hates him. He's an anti-vaxxer.
Can I say something? I like Jay Cutler.
Right, but you like Jay Cutler because of how much he openly disdains the sport he gets paid millions of dollars to play, which makes him the athlete who hates sports the most.
Solid take, Joey. 3 points.
Yeah, he's even lazy on his reality show.
God,
I had to research a little bit.
Me and John have been talking about having Katie on and talking about the show for a while, and it's hard to be like, it's a little hard to be like, ugh, I'm gonna have to catch up soon, you know. Mm-hmm. But like, how do you not watch a reality show with Jay Cutler on it? Like, it's impossible.
If Jay Cutler could have played football wearing just pajamas, he would have.
Maybe like a dildo flopping out of his pants.
Well, and I guess he's like, it just seems like that's his entire life, is just being surly, not showering, wearing a hat all the. I guess on the reality show he's never shown hatless.
It's wonderful. Why you have to comb his hair? That's fucking bullshit.
You know, and I got this. I got my wonderful girlfriend got me this hat with a bear on it. That's very like, kind of like Cutler chill style. And when I wear it, I'm like, oh, I get it. I get what like a nice breathable hat with a curl. Like I feel like I know where this is going. Like an innocuous sentiment that kind of doesn't really say anything. People are just like, oh, it's a bear. Like it's like pro bear, but not hunting. Like, oh, it's great. Just a chill, lazy thing.
You guys know the don't care story, right?
I don't think I do.
Okay, we're just gonna read it. This is an urban legend. Okay. At a trendy sushi restaurant in Chicago during the off-season, a guy goes to the bathroom and sees Jay Cutler hat on backwards at the urinal. So the guy starts going to the bathroom next to him and says, "Hey, Jay, I also went to Vanderbilt. I think we might know some of the same people." And Jay cuts him off mid-sentence with, "Don't care!"
I mean, I really appreciated that he, like, he tore his ACL during the NFC Championship game and like remained on the sidelines because they're like, yeah, dude, we're going to have to do ACL surgery when this swelling goes down, but like otherwise you're fine. And he just kind of stood on the sidelines casually for the second half, and fans were really mad because they were just like, why isn't he going back in the game? He's just standing there.
Yeah, because his ACL's torn.
And I don't think Cutler like bothered to even tell anyone he had a torn ACL until like he'd had the surgery To see like he is a guy that like legitimately doesn't care that the entire fan base was like screaming at him for days, and he easily could have just said like, "Yeah, I tore my ACL," and it would have calmed it down. But he was just like, "Nah, I literally don't care what millions of people say."
Whatever. And now he's on a reality show. Who knew?
Yeah. But I think the athlete that has hated playing their sport most of all, no longer active, but it's Andrew Bynum.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
5 points. 5 points.
I mean, we could go through the highlights. Going to
what a legend! What a
every time we're on
legend.
TOB, Andrew Bynum comes up and we talk about him going to the finals.
But just computer programming, getting himself out of games by just putting up a 3-pointer whenever he touched the ball. That's incredible.
My theory has always been that he kind of cared. And then that thing happened where he knocked Beret out of the air, and like he saw himself doing it and went, "Yeah, that's not me," and just was just like, "Fuck it, I don't care anymore."
Yeah, and then like he got traded, and I think he was just like, "I didn't want to move."
What team did he get traded to again?
Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, because it was a 3-teamer, right? It was a 3-teamer, and a bunch of stuff went back to Orlando, right?
And then the sad post-LeBron Cavs gave him like $5 million to quit.
Mwah. What a career that guy had. What a legend.
Look, he stole money from Dan Gilbert.
Yeah, stole money from Dan Gilbert, 2 rings. Annoyed Kobe, probably.
Yeah, got a ring when he, I think, missed the entire playoffs once.
What a king. God bless Andrew Bynum. Question 7. Oh, no, wait. Question 8. This is our last question before the trivia round, please. I did prepare a trivia round. I did this bullshit, but I still did the thing that some people are half annoyed by. Okay. Sports. Some of them are bad. Please wipe one sport off the face of the earth and condemn everyone who practices or watches it. Keane.
We got to get lacrosse out of there. It's like white people pretending to play an Aztec sport, for one. Like, come on, Highlight. It's also like a suburban scourge. Like, it just has like all of the annoying prep school things you would have. Like the shirt's called a penny. It's a bunch of like prep school guys deciding the most flattering way to wear a penny. There's like a staff that's uncomfortably close to something that like a Unite the Right crowd would just put a flag on.
Yeah, for sure.
The size of like the goals are, and it's just
you
like
know what the goals in lacrosse are? They're too moderately sized.
Yeah, everything's like it's like the goalie mostly doesn't stop anything, but the goal's also not like huge like a soccer goal. Everything feels like it's the wrong size. Like it's like we should have made the ball bigger and these sticks heavier, but we know that these athletes are going to be inherently pretty soft that are carrying them around.
Oh wow.
And it's just
the S of the and Sean bringing up the S word.
And even the name is like, I feel like even the structure of the name of the sport has been completely co-opted and surpassed by sparkling water. Like LaCroix is your default search result for LACR now. And like if that's the case, if like grapefruit flavored seltzer water.
Excuse me, Pomplamoose.
Pomplamoose. Yeah, and it's called Pomplamoose. That's the thing. Something called Pomplamoose is still dominating a sport.
Honestly, Pomplamoose is also probably the best. Some guy named Pomplamoose is probably the best lacrosse player in the country right now.
Yeah.
Like Logan Pomplamoose.
Logan Pomplamoose, bro.
He's going to Duke.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if you mention like college lacrosse, what are people going to think of the sport first, or are they going to think of sexual assault and racism? And I'm going to say it's the latter.
Let's call that 3 points, Sean.
Okay.
Joey.
Golf. Golf is fucking dead. Tiger killed it. Like, Tiger's not going to be good enough to make golf relevant anymore. And golf needed Tiger, and Tiger's gone, unfortunately. Plus, golf courses, our cities are running out of space for people. And all these rich assholes playing golf on their private fucking country clubs are taking up, like miles of real estate where you could house the homeless if you built like low income housing on them. Fuck golf. Fuck rich dudes. Let's get our land back, cities.
Yeah. Blood on the clubs. Am I right, JD?
Yeah. Also, water, precious in California. They're watering the shit out of these golf courses to keep them fucking green for these rich assholes. Down with golf.
So Joey,
also it's boring and it's hard.
So Joey has given the correct answer, but that is not a hot take. I don't think, like, in and of itself, even though it's very correct. So I'm giving you 4 points for being purely correct. But there is another sport that can generate a lot more, like, heat if you say it.
College football?
No, because that's also relatively correct, I think.
Hunting human beings for sport.
Well, that's just
the most dangerous.
I mean, that's just fun. I don't, who are we to judge a most dangerous game off? All right, are you guys ready for this shit?
Yeah, ready.
Soccer.
Yeah, I'm into that. Fuck soccer, dude.
I can't agree with that.
It's
feels racist, actually. I gotta say.
It's invented in fucking Europe. Europeans love that shit. Man,
I'm just saying. There's one sport that teams from Africa regularly compete in at the top levels.
All right. You know what? Keane makes a good enough point there that I'm withdrawing my comment.
Nice, dude. Good job, Keane.
And the I would recommend the weird Amazon Prime series about Manchester City as well, because their coach is a fucking hilarious nutbag.
And you know what? I have people on to discuss soccer sometimes.
Also, you worked for a soccer team, so maybe
for 3 years.
Maybe you just want that team deleted.
No, I like the Timbers. I don't have any problem with them. They were relatively good to me.
I also think that, like, elite soccer players from Africa are almost universally really cool across the board, and they're all like trilingual and yeah.
All right, I take it back.
You know what I want to get rid of, though? When it comes to soccer, that take that's like, oh man, imagine if America had sent its best athletes to soccer. Like, what if you put a soccer ball in LeBron James's crib when he was a kid instead of a basketball?
You know what's fucked up about that particular?
I never want to hear that shit.
You know what's fucked up about that particular take? LeBron would not be good at soccer. He's too tall.
Yeah,
he's really way too big.
Yeah, I
mean, he could be like a goalie.
Even then, his legs are too wide. Like, that's a problem.
I mean, I just imagine him getting red carded a lot.
Yes, exactly.
And not even for, like, particularly dirty things, but he just has a collision with, like, a speedy Belgian midfielder, and that guy can't walk again for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not...
Yeah. I mean, look, football players maybe, or some baseball players perhaps, although, I mean, a part of me thinks that baseball might be a really specific kind of genius that sort of transcends athleticism on a certain level, but, like, I mean, yeah, some football players, I guess, but even then, like, I don't know, fucking linemen, like, are you, like, looking at linemen and being like, yeah, we need to get those guys on the pitch? I don't buy it either.
Yeah, a lot of NBA big men skills would not particularly translate.
Oh no, of course
I
not.
would say.
You know what? I wish Westbrook played soccer so I wouldn't have to watch him.
Oh.
I'll give him that.
Just go to Manchester United, baby.
Yeah. All right. Wonderful Spirited Takes Throwdown, Dominion of Opinion, Concrete Fact. We're doing it differently today, though. I'm trying something new with the trivia round, all right?
Okay.
You could still get 1 point for a correct answer. But it doesn't matter if you get it wrong or right, or if the other person gets the question. You can still offer a take on the topic.
Okay.
All right? And it's
I like that.
Okay, and it's still good take 1, bad take 3. We're trying to get some more takes into this part of the show, but I still really like the history anyway. Okay.
Yeah, I like it too.
Thank you. All right, question 1. What word preceded the Chaparrals team name in the ABA's 1970-71 season?
What word?
What word?
It's not a city name.
It's a word, yeah. It's a
Sean?
name. Sean.
Dallas?
Sorry, it's not Dallas.
I feel like we had this question on another Take It or Break It I was on.
We did.
That was that was Chaparral's related.
Okay, yeah.
So I should know this. Joey Denver?
Sorry, it's not Denver. It was Dallas.
I said
Sean
Dallas.
said Dallas.
I'm sorry,
That
it
was
was
my
Texas.
answer. Oh.
Okay.
I was like,
I can't believe it. I was looking at the word Dallas. Okay, the team was based in Dallas and came to be known as the Dallas Chaparrals after their first year. But then they moved to San Antonio and became the Spurs. Do you have a take on the Dallas Chaparrals, Joey Devine?
Chaparrals is a dope ass name. I love a regional specific sports name. And it's a better name than the Spurs, I think. Because you could call them the Chaps and get the same thing as the Spurs if you really wanted. But it's just cool. Like, the word chaparral, so tight.
Oh.
I'm into it.
2 points. It got a little groany there at the end, but I'm not here to judge. Keane.
I like the ballsiness of naming a team after not only a state but like a giant state. You know, like the Minnesota Twins. That makes a lot of sense. Like, because you're like, where else is the team going to be? It's going to be in Minnesota. But to be like, no, we're the Texas Rangers. Like,
you mean like
this
the
covers the whole
Golden
sport.
State Warriors?
Well, that Golden State Warriors, they were actually playing all over the state. That made sense that they were playing home games in San Diego. But yeah, the Florida Marlins, the Florida Panthers, just being like, sorry guys, I know we're Miami, but why don't you eat a dick, Tampa and Orlando? You know what I mean? Like that. Like the Texas Chaparrals are just like, you know what? We're not even going to acknowledge Houston. Like, fuck them.
3 points, Keane. It's a good take. Question 2. What book did Larry Merchant write about betting on the 1972 NFL season? Just see if anybody has any guesses on this one.
Sean. Inside the Lines.
No. Wonderful guess. Joey.
Ooh, the spread offense.
Oof. You know what? Also a really good name for it. Maybe doesn't work because spread offense didn't exist yet, but it's the National Football Lottery.
Oh, that's stupid.
Merchant, of course, went on to fucking hate Floyd Mayweather. So.
Tight.
Do you guys have a take on Larry Merchant?
I have one that's okay. So Larry Merchant is shockingly not his birth name. I know his name is Larry Kaufman, and I guess he changed it, presumably because it's too Jewish, right? I would think. But then he chose the name Merchant, which is like he almost changed his name to like Larry Shylock, basically. Like what could have some of the negative connotations of a Jewish last name, but be a little different. That's all because I think he's like trying to escape anti-Semitism, definitely reasonable for a guy trying to work in the 50s, but his choice is like almost like hateful propaganda.
2 points, Keane. Devine.
I am pro any enemy of Floyd Mayweather's is a friend of mine. My favorite enemy of Floyd Mayweather's is last year at Summer League, they had LaMelo Ball doing shooting, like during Lakers games. He would do he would shooting challenge, like he would do like a shooting contest against like another person, and it was Floyd Mayweather's son and Clipper Darrell. And it was just like, it's so tight to watch this 17-year-old just destroy people I hate. And he was so disrespectful about it. Like, he would, like, Clipper Darrell would be, like, taking, like, layups, and LaMelo Ball would be shooting from half court and just burying him. It was so tight.
LaMelo Ball?
Yeah.
Trick shot artist.
Also just swag champ.
Oh, wow.
You know
He
what
is
I
a
mean?
swag champ.
Who knew? 2 points, Devine. Next question. Who unretired in 1975 to join the New York Cosmos, give North American soccer a boost, and rake in a pile of money?
Sean.
Joey!
Sean.
Pele.
You know, Joey, you
I
can't
knew
buzz.
that one.
You can't buzz in before I'm done reading the question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pele, that corporate goon. Maradona.
Wait, he's a. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Maradona was way better, baby. Sean, a take on Pele, please.
Well, I think it's kind of great that. Well, so I'm sorry, I'm stammering getting into this. When I was in high school, my very first girlfriend really, really liked Tori Amos, and for our first Valentine's Day together, I got her a songbook so she could play the songs from Little Earthquakes and Surrender the Pink on the piano, which was very nice. And then I remember during our relationship, the Boys for Pele album came out, and I was convinced that Tori Amos was like a soccer fan because at the time I was unaware of the Volcano God, and still have like in my heart kind of wished that Tori Amos was actually like secretly like just a diehard footballer, and I feel like that would have made her career like a little more mainstream if she just occasionally would write like a World Cup anthem.
One
It went all over the place.
One point, Keane.
I believe.
Go
ahead.
I had an inquiry though. I don't remember what it was. Devine.
Pele is in one of the weirder sports movies of all time, Victory, where Michael Caine, Pele, and Sylvester Stallone play soccer against the Nazis. And it's directed by John Huston. And I think about that movie often just because Sylvester Stallone plays the goalie, and I just can't imagine.
Arms aren't long enough.
Also, he's like shaped like a cardboard box, and a very small cardboard box. And I just can't imagine. I would pay so much money to just see the outtakes where it's Sylvester Stallone falling down, like not being able to reach the balls that he's supposed to get. And then standing up and being like, "You hit it too far. You kicked the ball too far."
Yeah.
Also, I imagine they had to make Sylvester Stallone the goalie just because he could not comprehend that you couldn't touch the ball with your hands if he was in a different position.
I just punch the ball. When it comes to me, I just hit it with my hand, you know. He is supposed to be a terrible goalie in the movie, though.
Oh,
yes.
In fairness, thank you. Good to see Max von Sydow as the villain in this bad boy.
It also has such a cop-out ending because it's this big thing where it's like, we got to make the choice. Like, they're planning their escape at halftime of the soccer game is the whole reason to do it. And then they decide that, we got to play. Winning this game means something. And then they get to escape anyway somehow.
Yeah, the Nazis, they played soccer so well, we're going to let them go.
Oh, God bless them. Say what you will about the Nazis. Say what you will about the Nazis. If you did everything they told you to do, they would leave you alone.
True.
Joey, I didn't give you points for that yet, did I?
No, you did not.
You know what? 2 points because I'd never heard of that movie. Next question: what league did referees Norm Drucker, Joe Goosh, Earl Storm, and John Vanak join for the 1970-71 season?
Wait, say that again?
What league did referees Norm Drucker, Joe Goosh, Earl Strom, and Sean?
NBA. The
No, I'm
NBA
sorry,
refs.
it's not the NBA.
Oh.
What year?
1970-71.
Joey says it is the NFL.
I'm sorry, it is not the NFL.
The ABA, right?
It's the ABA, baby.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Earl Strom is a really famous ref.
Yeah, because the ABA was fucking cool, and at one point they couldn't figure out any more ways to harm the NBA, and so they just poached their refs.
So funny.
Yeah.
You know his nickname was Yogi?
Whom?
Earl Strom. And he was also known as the Pied Piper because he would go, when he whistled somebody, he'd go, let me just move away from the microphone. He'd just whistle like, yeah.
He had a trademark whistle.
He had a trick whistle, and he all his foul calls were super flamboyant, and sometimes he would shove people.
Oh. A once great. Do you have any takes on these? Well, you know what? We're going to call that a take on the referee. Do you mind, Sean?
Yeah. Well, there's my favorite story about him is he was really antagonized the crowds, and you know how legendarily St. Louis just had these awful racist fans that would fight people.
Mm-hmm.
Legendarily? That's still true, right?
Yeah. I mean, now those people just work in the police departments, but yes, and they're in Cardinals games. There's a reason the NBA is not in St. Louis anymore because it is a federal hate crime for those people to watch black people play sports. But at one point, I guess a mob tried to attack him after a game, and Wilt Chamberlain picked him up like a baby and carried him out of the crowd, which is a very funny image to me.
God bless you, Wilt Chamberlain.
I think he might have picked him up by the shirt, but I just know Wilt Chamberlain cradled him and took him away from the angry rioting crowd.
3 points. Joey Devine.
My favorite thing about the ABA is how bad George Mikan fucked up.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
The Kareem Abdul-Jabbar signing.
It's the greatest NBA story imaginable.
All of the owners in the NBA got together. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was going to go to the league that bid him the highest, and all of the ABA owners got together and pooled all their money to offer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar $1 million. So George Mikan has a check in his pocket written out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for $1 million, and then gets to the meeting and decides to lowball Kareem.
This of course is a story that Tom Sharpling is very fond of telling,
yes.
But it's also in Loose Balls, but it's just it's just he just walks to that room and goes, "I'll pay him less."
Can I tell you a couple more Earl Strom stories real quickly?
Please. Joey, 3 points for mentioning the greatest basketball story of all time.
Thank you.
he ejected Red Auerbach during an All-Star game, which is the only time that's happened. He once ejected Benny the Bull, the first mascot ejection in basketball history. And he used to call Red Auerbach Arnold when they called each other, which is really funny. And then the other thing that's great is when he was working for the ABA, he told somebody, like, he was really talking up Dr. J. He saw Dr. J play and was like, I saw the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. And people were like, hey, this ref shouldn't be promoting individual players. The commissioner fined him $50, and then he sent him back a check for $100. And he's like, 50's for the fine, 50's because he is the greatest player I've ever seen. So he kind of just did what he wanted all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And whereas I'm not like, I thought that, like, philosophically, I don't like when referees, like, inject themselves into the game, but actually in practice, I love it.
Yeah. Look, everybody fucking complained about, you know exactly who I'm...
Joey Crawford.
Crawford, thank you.
Yeah.
A friend of Joey Devine, Joey Crawford. But fuck you. You liked talking about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
that's great.
You know who else was
Dick
great?
Bavetta.
Yeah, but Bavetta was also... Bavetta, I think more people have, like, genuine affection for. But
Only because he raced Charles that one time.
Yeah, that
if
was
he
pretty
didn't
funny.
do that, people wouldn't have any affection for him. They'd be like, remember when this old asshole used to yell at everyone?
Whatever, man. Fucking bring back the prestige ref, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Earl Strom ever punch Dick Bavetta? Yes, he did.
Mwah. Mwah. Did I give you points, Keane? Yeah, I think I did. Guess what? We're never gonna know unless you go back and listen to this episode.
Whoa.
Question 5. What American League club hit 5 home runs in the 7th inning of a June 9th, 1966 game against the Kansas City Athletics?
Joey. The New York Yankees.
I'm sorry, it is not the New York Yankerbockers.
Sean.
Knicks. Or Sean. Fuck.
The Baltimore Orioles.
I'm sorry, it's not the Orioles. I really appreciate you guys for recognizing that the question is basically impossible to answer. And guessing, though, that's something I feel like more people should do when they're on the show.
Yeah, really?
So
is it the Twins?
It is the Twins.
Damn it!
That
was my other answer.
Yeah, it is the Twins. Why would you know this? I don't know. But here, let me go.
Can I? Killebrew, baby.
I hope you guys don't mind me going through this inning score.
Please do.
At bat, ball 7. Catfish Hunter is pitching. Rich Rollins hits a home run off of him. 2 RBIs. Next batter is Zelo Vervaes, and he also hits a home run off Catfish Hunter. Catfish Hunter gets taken out. He gets replaced by Paul Lindblad. Paul Lindblad gives up a home run to Tony Olivia, and then another one to Don Mishner, and then he is replaced, and then Harmon Killebrew hits a home run off John Wyatt almost immediately. So, a lot of fun.
So good.
Yeah. Shout out, first off, the 2 greatest baseball names of all time in this box. Catfish Hunter and Harmon Killebrew. Yeah. It's incredible that there was probably a time when Harmon Killebrew pitched to Catfish Hunter. That shit is beautiful.
The reverse, but yes. Constantly.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, pardon me. Anyway, any takes you have on this scenario, please offer them. Devine, you first, I think.
Shit. Catfish Hunter is a great name. I wish baseball... I really wish... Oh, sorry. I really wish that...
Did you smoke a cigarette earlier, by the way?
I did.
Yeah, I fucking knew it.
What?
Gotta start juuling, baby.
Gross.
You do have to start juuling. Seriously. Joey, we're just worried about you. Start juuling. It's good for you.
Dude, I'll quit smoking cigarettes eventually.
It's basically health food.
You know what? That's going to be my take. I think we should allow baseball players to vape in the dugout.
We 100% should allow baseball players to vape in the dugout.
Like, imagine, and you know what? And in the field, like, if we're so concerned about how people don't know who Mike Trout is, you know what would get people to know who Mike Trout is? Him vaping in the outfield.
Him fucking chucking clouds.
Just blowing huge clouds, dude. Oh, so sick. Especially if he could do tricks. I bet Mike Trout can do vape tricks.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's a man with very narrow, weird interests. He definitely...
I don't think he drinks anything stronger than milk, but yes, I get it.
Even then, a 2% is a little much for him.
Yeah.
3 points, Joey. Let's see vaping baseball players. I'm mad you came up with that because I want to pitch it everywhere now.
I mean, you should.
Okay,
pitch it. I'm not going to write it.
Okay.
Who do you think would be the best vaping baseball player?
Oh my god!
Or like who would turn it around the most?
Okay, first off, it has to be said, this passed Jeter by so hard. I'm just pulling up a list of MLB players real quick. Thanks.
I'm thinking like Carlos Correa would blow like insanely large clouds. Like he'd be really good at it. He's a millennial and he's into bat flipping.
I think Miguel Cabrera is a real dark horse on this one.
Yeah. I mean, he did play a 1-game playoff drunk.
He
recently,
also
looks some
looks
1920 shit.
He also looks kind of like he's like the shape of a caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. Like he's like real rotund.
Yeah.
And like that for sure. That's some straight up. That guy knows how to vape.
It's too bad Papelbon isn't playing anymore because he would have been quite a vapor on the mound and off, just like in people's faces in the dugout, dude. Like, you didn't run out that pop fly enough. I'm gonna blow jewel smoke.
It's a
in your face.
real shame he's a Mormon because Bryce Harper could have gotten some unbelievable vaping done.
Oh, imagine Billy Martin. Like, if he could vape in an umpire's face,
that
that would have extended his life by decades.
It would make Jim Leland so upset, though.
Oh, too. He'd just be like, God damn it.
He'd be like, if you can vape, I can smoke 3 cigarettes at once in the dugout. You want to see me vote? You want to see me blow cowboy clouds?
Isn't it amazing that Major League Baseball was this like multi-billion-dollar corporation and could not stop this old man from smoking in a dugout into like the Obama administration? Like the
baseball fucking
grandpa.
rules, dude.
Yeah, what are the Detroit Tigers worth $700 million? Can the owner stop his employee from smoking on the playing field? No one can.
Just throwing out another one here that I just feel like is really important to mention. Buster Posey.
Oh, if he started vaping, that would be a real 180 to his whole persona.
But also, you can like see it in your mind, right?
Oh, well, and coming out of the catcher's mask too.
I don't think Puig would vape, but I think that he would steal dudes' vapes and break them.
Well, I think he'd like lick his own vape. You know what I mean? Like the way he licks the bat.
Oh yeah. Did you guys see Yasiel making Giants mad the other day?
Yeah, it was a weird like one of those. It was a thing where like woke Twitter got like way ahead of itself too, because it was just like he started yelling at the catcher and then Puig like shoved him and slapped him. And immediately people are just so used to racist baseball players where they're just like, they're trying to stop a Cuban player because he's bat flipping. And then after the game, it came out that the catcher was just like, stop complaining and get back into the batter's box. But all the takes had already like caught fire and the story was just ashes at that point.
Can I tell you something? I don't fucking care. I like...
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's such a Twitter thing to just be like, everything is this narrative that we're mad about, and then it turns out that it's not, and it's kind of like, well, we already had the takes, so you know.
Anyway,
but, yeah, like it was a guy saying, stop complaining and get back in the box, and people had already written there, it is unfair to these Latino players that the cultural expression of yelling at an umpire and wasting time.
In fairness, yelling at umpires and wasting time fucking rules.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like not a racial thing. It's like something catchers do because you step out of the box to fuck with the pitcher. Like it's a baseball strategy.
All right. A little
All
bit.
I'm saying.
Fucking
All I'm
with
saying
the
is
pitcher is
this.
cool, though.
He does get a lot of unfair shit. I'm just saying this is a time when someone told him to stop wasting time, and he began slapping and shoving people, including his own team's coaching staff. This is like not the Puig Hill to die on.
Fine.
There are plenty of Puig Hill.
You
That's
know what
all
Puig
I'm
Hill to
nerd.
die on is? That it's way cool he peed in that pool that one time.
That was amazing.
What? What are you talking about?
The Dodgers so the Arizona Diamondbacks have this dumb pool in the outfield in right field that people can sit in. So the Dodgers clinched the division in Arizona, and a bunch of players went and jumped in the pool, and Puig definitely peed in it. That's so awesome.
You have to have a take on Catfish Hunter and Harmon Killebrew now.
Well, it would be kind of funny if Catfish Hunter played now and his whole persona was tricking dudes into thinking he was a lady and having really intense online romances with them to trick them.
Wait,
and he's
what?
like, "Sorry, I'm Catfish Hunter."
Oh, all right, okay.
But I do. I just catfish dudes. Also, I won this mustache contest.
1 point. Also, should be noted the greatest spoonerism in the history of sports. Catfish Hunter.
Oh,
Catfish Hunter. Here we go. Ha ha. Question 6. How many different belly pads protected goalie Terry Sauchk in his NHL career?
Joey.
2.
2.
I'm sorry, it's not 2.
Sean. 0.
No, it's 1. Joey was on the right track.
It feels like it isn't notable to have one belly pad.
Is it
Do they
possible
normally
he
have-
wore the first belly pad, though?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I have some more information about this guy. I do know the belly pad was made of felt, which seems a little fucking ridiculous. Okay, Sauchuk. That's probably how I say his name. Sauchuk struggled with untreated depression. This is from his Wikipedia, a condition that often affected his conduct. After the 1969-70 season ended, Sauchuk and Rangers teammate Rod Stewart, both of whom had been drinking, fought over expenses for a house they rented together in Long Island, New York. Sauchuk suffered severe internal injuries during the scuffle from falling on top of Stewart's bent knee. At Long Beach Memorial
I'm sure
Hospital...
that's what it was, not that his belly pad was made of felt.
Yeah. In fairness, they were. Yeah. At Long Beach Memorial Hospital, Sauchuk's gallbladder was removed, and he had a second operation on his damaged and bleeding liver. The press described the incident as horseplay, and Sauchuk told the police that he accepted full responsibility for events. At New York Hospital in Manhattan, another operation was performed on Sauchuk's bleeding liver. He never recovered and died shortly thereafter from a pulmonary embolism on May 31st, 1970, at the age of 40. The last reporter to speak to him a little over a week before his death was Shirley Fischler, the wife of Stan Fischler, who wanted to see him in a hospital as a visitor, not identifying as a reporter. Sauchuk told her the incident with Stewart was a fluke, just a complete fluke accident. Fischler also described him as so pale and thin that the scars had almost disappeared from his face. A Nassau County grand jury exonerated Stewart and ruled that Sauchuk's death was accidental. Sauchuk was buried in Mount Hope Cemetery in Pontiac, Michigan. Right? Holy shit.
That's a crazy fucking story.
It is. So you guys have any takes on this goalie or what?
I do have a take. Hockey fans would hate that goalie now because it seems like the entire the entire identity of the online hockey fan is to tweet about how tough a hockey player is and how much of a wimp a basketball player is. So if a hockey player died doing horseplay, They'd be like, "Oh man, you're ruining my whole thing."
Yeah. 2 points, Devine. Keane.
I think I'm just influenced this by just reading 8 Man Out, but the last like notable baseball player like death on the field. I'm not talking about all the, like every 5 years a Cardinals reliever dies in a drunk driving accident, whatever. But when a guy got killed by a pitch, and at first I was like, wow, that must have been like a crazy fastball. It's Ray Chapman was killed by Carl Mays' pitch. But when you hear about it, they cover the ball with they scuff it, you scan paper it, you cut it with a knife, you just cover it in dirt and licorice and tobacco juice, and the umpire would just never throw the ball out of play to save money. And first of all, it's shocking that only one player famously died from this, but the next year, just based on not having baseballs that were just covered in garbage all the time, people started hitting 40 homers a year. This was oh, we can see the baseball. This transforms the sport. And I think people still have ideas about bunting that are 100 years old. That people are yeah, you better bunt, because how else would you see that, licorice covered rock coming at you? But just clean baseballs turned into home runs. That's all.
2 points, Keane. All right, let's do some scoring. Give me a minute here. The final score is Sean Keane 40, Joey Devine 45.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Wow.
I got 0 points in the first round too. Oh man,
Congratulations!
I'm excited.
I got 0 points in that one round. Or did I? Listen again and see.
If anybody wants to recount my scoring on this one, I wouldn't blame you. Promote things. Roundball Rock is your podcast.
It is. Listen to Roundball Rock. We're gonna be debuting a Patreon when the new season starts. So give us money. But also, more importantly, tell us what you'd like to give us money for. Do you want stuff? Do you want extra episodes? Do you want video content?
How about JO recordings, just audio recordings? I'm not a weirdo or anything.
Also, if you Venmo us $1, we'll name your fantasy teams. $1 a fantasy team.
They will.
And for $10, we'll write you an actual fantasy. You can pick the sport, you can pick the team, pick the player, or dealer's choice.
Yeah.
And come see me perform live stand-up comedy in San Francisco. At the 8th, I'm doing this rooftop show.
What the fuck?
Sorry, a helicopter just flew over me.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then September 24th, it's a Monday, I'll be at the Alamo Draft House in San Francisco doing a riffing show to the classic Cameron Crowe film, Almost Famous. I will be looking for white people.
Oh, shit, lock the gates, dude.
Yeah, they're locked. And if you like comedy or just the music of Stillwater.
That's my favorite movie that has both Mark Kozelek from Sun Kill Moon and Jimmy Fallon in it.
Yeah.
By far.
Please rate and review this podcast on iTunes. I wrote something for Vice Sports this week, and we'll have something there next week. Oh, I have a thing.
Did you write about C.J. McCollum?
I did write about C.J. McCollum.
What an odd thing to do for you this summer.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to make it a trilogy. I have a thing on the outline about a local protests over the Portland Trail Blazers partnering with a company that sells sniper scopes to the IDF and the Ferguson Police Department.
Oh, very cool.
Raymond Green. Oh no, I guess.
Yes, and legendary IDF. I mean, in fairness, Netanyahu would probably clear Draymond Green if given the chance, but wow, it just got a little more anti-Israel than I meant it to. Yeah, check that out and rate and review this podcast on iTunes. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/takeitOrBreakIt. Me and John, David Roth was on last week, so if you like David Roth, you can listen to him talk if you give me money. And John and I did an episode about Michael Jordan commercials that's going to come out tomorrow. So it was a lot of fun.
What's the best Michael Jordan commercial?
We're doing 3 of these. We're gonna do early peak Jordan time and Hitler stash Jordan. And the best of the early ones could go I could answer this in one of 2 ways. One is either the ones where Jordan, it's literally just like Jordan performing, and it's just like, look at this fucking athletic dude, he's incredible. Those really do make quite an impression, and the Mars Blackman ones are really fucking good.
They're treasures.
Yeah, they are so good.
Michael Jordan cologne is not going to hold up as well. FYI.
Who's the best late Jordan antagonist? Is it Charlie Sheen or Kevin Bacon?
It's the guy who says, look at that guy's bacon neck. And then they cut to Jordan and he has a Hitler mustache and you go, what?
Then Charles's later nemeses are like Elmer Fudd and Charles Barkley. Is that right? In like the late 90s McDonald's era?
Yes, this sounds correct. Yeah, when he retires, Charles Barkley does a series of commercials where he has a talk show. And he's like, Michael Jordan, why'd you retire, you dumb asshole? And, you know. But
there's also a point in Michael Jordan's endorsement career where you can tell he suffered some temporary gambling losses because he does a commercial for like rechargeable batteries. And you're like, this feels below Michael Jordan, kind of.
Man, some of the early ones are he does one for African American hair products.
That's fantastic.
That we saw that I was a little surprised about, especially because he shaved his hair almost immediately after it. Like, he's so famously a dude who bics. Like,
also on his SNL episode, he does a commercial for Michael Jordan pornography.
Oh yeah. Barkley's episode's better, but what are you gonna do?
My favorite in the Halberstam book, there's a great story about Michael Jordan when he first goes to Nike. And he's like, they show him the Air Jordans. And he's like, red and black? Why are they red and black? Those are the devil's colors. And then his family is like, Michael, those are the Chicago Bulls colors. And he's like, oh, okay.
I guess I'm the devil now.
In fairness, the second he accepted that, he became the most fabulously wealthy athlete to ever live. So the devil's like he just needed to lose his inhibitions, and then
sorry, the devil drafted you.
Oh well,
not really the same kind of free agency.
Guess I'm going to hell anyway.
Come on board. Me and the devil work out every morning at my house. I make him breakfast. Can you imagine how abusive Michael Jordan would have been to even the devil? Pussy, you got thrown out of heaven.
Wow, you lost that fucking war against God, huh?
Jesus kicked your bitch ass.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Headphone just fell out of my ear. Okay. All right, we're done.
Trust the process.
Thank you so much for coming on, guys. Thanks for staying way later with me.
Of course, that's how these episodes go.
It is.
They're the best.
And everybody have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.